My name is Debbie Garrett, and I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And this is Addison. Addison, can you tell him your name?
About me.
Tell him your name. What's your name?
I like puzzles.
Oh, you like puzzles?
My name is Addison Garrett.
How old are you?
I am 6 years old.
Good job. Addison, where do you go to school?
I go to Ridgecroft Elementary School.
Addison is 6 years old, and he is nonverbal, and he has autism. We started noticing that he had delays when he was about 12 months old. He wasn't babbling. He wasn't developing words.
Puzzles. I like puzzles.
Yes.
I like puzzles.
Good talking, Addison. Good talking. We started First Steps early intervention when he was about 15 months old.
I really like books and music.
He received speech and developmental intervention. He
I
received
really like books and music.
occupational therapy and physical therapy through the EPSDT program. Soon after, we started Impact Plus, where he got additional behavioral therapy. All of those services have really helped him progress. He was developmentally delayed in all areas of functioning. We also tried some dietary interventions, the gluten and casein-free diet. And taking him off of milk was really helpful in helping with his gastrointestinal issues. He made remarkable improvements. He started making eye contact. He started having regular bowel movements. He started responding to his name, and those are things that he was not doing prior to the diet. I didn't really know that much about autism. I mean,
Kentucky.
you hear about,
Bowling
Rain Man and the famous people.
I really like books and music.
But I actually have a master's degree, and I was a therapist prior to him being diagnosed. So I went into a deep depression and sort of like a panic mode because I didn't know as much as I needed to know about autism. One of the first things I did was grab some of my books from grad school and flip through them to see, did we talk about autism? Because I didn't remember talking about it that much.
Want to hear a story? My story.
So I think it's really important, and it's more prevalent today than it was in years past. So it's really important that people take the time to understand and learn about autism. Each person with autism has different abilities. They have different characteristics. They have different challenges. And each person is different. They require different therapies. So it's important to remember that and get to know the individual and what they need. There's no one fix-all solution. Each person has their own likes and preferences. Each person is motivated by different things. It would be a very boring world if we were all exactly the same. And it's the same with autism. They're all different, and they all have different needs. Addison has a lot of sensory issues, and we have found deep pressure is helpful for him. Swinging, he has a rocking horse, trampoline, bouncing, massages. Those things are helpful to calm him. And something else that a lot of people may not know is that there's a lot of medical issues that go along with autism that sometimes it's hard to find people that will listen or help with that because they just say, oh, it's autism, it's all under the same umbrella. But there can be seizures, there can be gastrointestinal issues, there can be sensory issues. And each one of those need to be treated. You should always rule out medical before you start any kind of intervention because, just think if you have all of those issues, you're not going to be able to sit at a desk and do ABA therapy. You're not going to be able to sit in a classroom and be still and be quiet and focus and learn. So you have to take into account all of those issues to kind of build up a prerequisite to be able to learn and benefit from therapy. I'm just so proud of him. When we started therapy, he was basically laying in the floor self-stimming all the time. He wouldn't look at a book. He wouldn't point. He wouldn't do anything. There was no toys. There was no motivators. There were no reinforcers. And he's in kindergarten now. He knows his letters, he knows his numbers, his shapes, his colors. He can count by one, by twos, by fives, by tens. He can use his iPad to answer questions. It's amazing. Sit. Good listening, good listening. Enjoy every day that you have with your child. I've spent a lot of time stressing, panicking, worrying, wanting him to be further than he was. Looking at mile markers, I hope he's talking by 18 months. I hope he's talking by 24 months. Okay, now we're at 36 months. And, we're at 6 years now, and he still doesn't have the words, but I feel like he's gained so much progress looking back, and I spent a lot of time worrying and panicking instead of enjoying the days with him and being thankful for where he was. We celebrate the big milestones, but he's made a lot of little milestones along the way. He's a person that has a right to learn and to have an environment and to have friends, and there are accommodations that can be made to help him be more successful. He's a visual learner, like a lot of kids with autism are visual learners. We've got like a picture schedule here that he uses. Like this is his morning routine. These pictures show him the steps of what he does in the morning time. Here's an example of a first then board to get him more motivated to do things he doesn't want to do, like taking his medicine. First we're going to take your medicine and then you can get a brownie. Or first we're going to go to the doctor and then we can go swing. So you can use things like that to help him. And I would also tell people that behavior is communication, especially for people that are nonverbal. If he's being aggressive, it doesn't mean that he's a bad kid. Maybe there's something going on in his environment that is bothering him. Maybe he's overstimulated. There's too much light. There's too much sound. There's too many people. Or he's hungry, or he's sleepy, or he's just had enough. If you take the time to sit back and look at what's going on, then you can usually make changes to help decrease that behavior rather than just label him as a problem child. The KATC, the Kentucky Autism Training Center, has a book that they can provide that has a lot of the resources listed in it that people, may not know to look for. They may not know that it's available to them. So I think that's a great recommendation for new parents to get that book and know what is out there and available. For Addison, the gluten and casein-free diet and ABA therapy has been just extremely helpful in helping understand what's going on with him and help give him a greater chance at being able to go into the community. I think talking to your therapist and asking them what they're doing so that you can carry that over in the home environment is important. You can't expect your child to learn from an hour to a week in therapy. Ask what techniques they're using. Ask to see their progress notes. Ask how you can use their techniques in the home with him when he's playing, when he's doing his favorite activities, when he's trying to eat, when he's trying to take a bath. Those can all be very challenging. And there's a lot of programs out there that are available that people just need to know that they can apply for them. Like, my son's not potty trained yet and he's almost 6. Diapers can be very expensive. There's programs out there that can help pay for those when you have a diagnosis and you're over the age of 3. The ARC is a national organization that has local chapters and state chapters, and they are a great resource. Support groups are great. Finding other parents that understand the struggles that you have that can help give you suggestions. The ARC has advocacy programs that can help teach you how to, fight for your child. Therapists are going to come and go, teachers are going to come and go, but ultimately you're your child's best advocate. You're their voice. You're the one that's going to know them the best. You're going to be their best therapist, their best teacher. You're going to learn about their medical issues and what they need. So just learning to stand up for your child and how you can do that is really important. An example of a bad day, I had one last week. My son was sick and we were at the doctor trying to get an x-ray to see if he had pneumonia. We couldn't get him to sit still for the x-ray. my blood pressure shot up. I started sweating. You know, he's crying and screaming. He doesn't understand what's going on. It wasn't a situation where I had time to create a social story or any kind of visuals to help out and help him understand what's going on. You know, with autism and the medical issues he has, we've made lots of doctor's appointments, lots of specialists. He knows when he gets in those environments that he doesn't want to be there. And we know it's important to get help for, you know, strep throat, for pneumonia, for seizures. And he vomited all over the floor. You know, I'm trying to calm him down. I had to call my husband. He had to take off work. We had to sit in the lobby while he's screaming for 30 minutes waiting for my husband to get there. Second round, we had 3 adults trying to hold a 6-year-old to get an x-ray. And after 4 attempts, it didn't happen. You know, we didn't want to radiate him. And, you know, there's going to be days like that. There's going to be days where you want to give up. There's going to be days where you feel hopeless. There's going to be days where you want to stay in bed and cry and you feel like you can't do it anymore. You have to realize those days are going to come. You have to know that it's okay. It doesn't make you a bad parent. Tomorrow's going to be better. Just tell yourself it's not going to continue. You're going to do better the next day. And that you can do this. You can fight for your child. And you can be their best advocate. Along with the bad days, there's always those good days that keeps you going, that makes you stronger, that makes you want to fight the fight. My son's nonverbal. He's had days where a word has popped out, and we didn't even know he knew that word. He's had days where he's used a sign that we didn't know, you know, after a couple years of doing sign language, never getting any signs, and then he pops a sign out from nowhere. And, you know, his teacher telling me that he seems to be higher functioning when I've thought all this time that he's lower functioning. He understands what they say. He's getting it. We just don't know that he's getting it because we don't have the communication where it needs to be yet. But we know it's going to get there. We have days where we'll say something and he'll do exactly what we were saying. But I was talking to my husband, I wasn't talking to him, and he's getting it. He's in there. He is so smart. He's not someone who doesn't understand what's going on around him. He gets it. He just can't express it with language. He's the best thing in the world. He is a gift from God, and he is my everything. He's the reason I wake up. He's the reason I breathe. He's an amazing person. If you can look past the label, if you can look past the autism and just see him for who he is, he's someone that you should really get to know.